Acrylic, Sulcus, Diero, Animan, Seraph, Stormcrow, Dungeon Master
GMAAN9.
Welcome to Dungeons & Dragons on Twitch. I'm GMAAN9 and this is the guild It Hurts When I PvP. We are playing the award-winning campaign, Out of the Abyss. It is unanimously agreed by the guild that our game night is more fun when our audience, that's you, participates with us. Chat, suggest solutions, tell jokes, contribute poetry, guest during trivia, inform us about technical problems, hit us with some emotes, and also use your GMAAN9 points to affect the game. If you like what you see, we'd love it if you decide to follow this channel. If you turn on notifications, you'll be alerted when we broadcast. If you have a Prime account with Amazon, why not use your free subscription this month and support our production? Just hit the subscribe button to start. Let's begin with a recap from last time. Hey everybody, in our last episode, a ton of things happened. First of all, we got all geared up in the Dwarven Kingdom city of Brunar Battlehammer, and as we left, Animan tried to steal some stuff. They don't take very kindly to stealing stuff in that town, and so we had to try and wiggle him out of the responsibility of stealing stuff. And also, at the beginning of that adventure, Stormcrow got a follower named Gronk, who's part of the Brunar Battlehammer's family, and has decided that he wants to follow Stormcrow and learn his wrestling and fighting prowess ways. He's got permission, and so he's along on the trip. Also on the trip, we have a group of knights. There are 5 of them that have been assigned to help us with our mission in the Underdark. There were also 8 thug mercenaries and 4 really kind of amazing riding lizards that are especially awesome because of the way that they can climb on cliff walls and ceilings and essentially make the Underdark terrain a non-issue. And all of those had names: Greenie, Moth, Rex, and my favorite was Kevin. The group all together set out, but also before they left ran into a famous character from the Forgotten Realms, Drizzt Do'Urdryn, the Drow rebel, who actually nodded to Seraph as the group left. And you remember, it wasn't a nod like this. It wasn't a hey. It was a nod like this. Like a respectful nod.
Very different.
Yes, totally. So then the group left, and they were enjoying their time on the trek. But then the scouts reported that they were being followed by an orc war band, and so they they decided that they would try and run, but then were trapped by a part of the band also in front of them, and so they decided that they would make a defense of it, and we had a huge battle. And one of my favorite things about last time was when 76 orcs were done, Stormcrow said, "There go the trombones." And then Sulcus said, "Well, it is an orc band." And then Stormcrow, hardly being able to say it, said, "And they're from Uruk-hai." So it was the Uruk-hai marching band that we killed.
That's a Lord of the Rings reference if you don't understand.
Super funny. Well, anyway, I implemented a whole new game mechanic for large battles that I thought went pretty well, and it was super fun. The group of orcs were essentially defeated almost to the last of them when they finally decided to turn tail and run, but by then it was too late. At the end of this, after working so hard and killing almost an entire tribe, just the group of us, all by ourselves, you amazing heroes, a group of barbarians showed up just at the last minute, wiped out the rest, and then surrounded you. And that is where we left it last time. So all of the spells that you've done, your current hit points, everything is the same as where we left off last time. Okay, so you're surrounded by the group, and there are far too many of them. There are 50 warriors there. And they don't attack you. Instead, they just corner you, surround you. You're in a position that you really cannot. If you fight, you'll all die. Within the next few minutes, a group of warriors, like 15 or so, have found the golem. I can't even remember. Is the iron golem the protecting golem? And in this world, warrior bands hate magical things. They are super suspicious about them, and so they weren't going to capture this thing. They were just going to destroy it. So it took 15 of them, and 5 of them die in the process of destroying this thing, but it is destroyed. And they pack up the pieces of it and put it on their mounts and are going to bring it back to their camp. The rest of you are bound, hands, and bound on your feet, and then also gagged. They capture your mounts. Your supplies are confiscated, as well as your weapons and your money. This means all of your bags, including the bag of holding, and all of your supply backpacks too. Although you bested that orc band from Uruk High, the knight Thora Nobble is dead in the battle, and mercenaries Lytris and Gorath also fell during the battle. You notice that the barbarians, while they're attending to this packing up and bundling you, they take special care of the lizard mounts in particular, and a couple of you notice them bowing and sort of bending and holding those mounts in high honor, and that's the last time you see those. Those are whisked away really quickly. Okay. You are then, after you're bound, all of you except for Stormcrow, you are sort of put on to the horses as if you're saddlebags, sort of stomach first, and a couple of you per horse. Stormcrow, though, is given his own horse, Coconut, and is only bound with his hands. You have 2 guards around you, but neither of them seem hostile to you at all. The rest of the group is treated like garbage. And a Stormcrow is also permitted to ride upright on his horse rather than slung over the side. Do you have any questions before I go on? Did you want to try to notice anything? Did you want to try and... Is there any action you want to take, or are you just going to go?
Why are they letting me sit upright?
Are you going to ask them?
Sure.
Okay, you've got a guard on your right and a guard on your left. Which one will you ask? By the way,
right.
You notice right away too, a lot of you, well, especially Stormcrow, but those of you that can still sort of peek, you notice that the warriors all seem to have markings that are similar, various shapes that are different, individual differences, but you notice consistently images of snakes, especially hooded snakes.
So they're from Slytherin. That's not
Yep.
good.
This isn't a Star Wars story. Keep focused.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I have a question.
Yep.
As I gaze at the hind leg of a horse, what color is the hair?
You're gazing at the hind leg of your horse?
I'm laying right over the top of its rump, looking right down on it, so I don't know really if I have a whole lot of sight besides that, right? I'm just laying stomach first on a horse.
And actually, you're a sort of subclass humanoid, and so they didn't treat you very well at all. And it's quite possible that your gag actually exceeds your mouth and goes over your eyes too, so you may not be able to see it all. You have the
Okay.
idea that they know a little bit about you, like roll for perception.
With my hood over my face.
Roll for perception. It doesn't matter.
How about a 20?
Oh yeah. So Zulkus, you have the feeling like they know, they have already ascertained each of your abilities. Like they knew to gag you right away and take away your spell components and stuff. Like it's as if they were watching the last part without participating, evaluating
Nice.
each of you. You know what I mean? Trying to discern who you were, how strong you were, what they were going to do. Like they were going to just see the two groups battle until it was absolutely obvious who's going to win, and then finish off the loser and come in and take you. So it's as if they sort of know your capabilities already. And this also might explain the sort of honoring of Stormcrow in this way. So Stormcrow, you were going to ask somebody on your right.
On the right.
Okay. And he says nothing.
On the left.
He says nothing. They look respectfully at you when you talk to them, and they nod, but they do not talk back. You know about this, that this warrior class is very disciplined group, and so you get the idea right away that their leader of this group has told them not to talk to you.
Can I ask them if they want to hear a joke?
Sure.
Hey, guy on the right, do you want to hear a joke?
He nods respectfully to you, but then he doesn't say anything.
Okay. Do you guys, either of you, left or right, do you know what's so nice about Switzerland? Yeah, I don't know either, but I hear the flag is a big plus.
That would be a funny joke in this world, I think. Everybody else in the party is confused about what Switzerland is and why there would be a plus on the flag. So, all right. Anything else before we
What's
go
a
on?
plus?
Yeah, exactly. A crossed swords symbol.
Okay, let's move on.
All right. You notice there are about 20 mounted barbarians, and there are about 30 more of them on foot or so. The barbarians are exclusively male, and each have markings of those snake forms. No one says anything to you while you're transported, and the journey takes the rest of the day. You arrive at the camp at nightfall, and you are placed on the ground near a large fire, except for Stormcrow, who is allowed to stand and is separated from the rest of the group. Nearly 100 barbarian warriors of different ages have surrounded the campfire and are looking on. There is a larger barbarian who is in the front of the group. Stormcrow noticed. The rest of you really couldn't see him. But you notice that he looks definitely like the leader of the group, and he has the most snake images on his body. He, you can tell, organizes the group of warriors, and they all dump all of your things, all of them, into a pile near the fire. When this happens, he takes his time and he sort of looks through all of the items. It's curious too, because when he finds when he finds Sereth's bow, he moves it over and drops it into a different pile. Then when he finds the magic component bag, he drops those over into a different pile too. Just like Those are things he doesn't want anything to do with. He does look very curiously at the hilt of Eos.
Does he
Confused.
pull a Luke Skywalker and put it right to his eye?
No, he doesn't. But he does look curiously at the hilt.
What happens if I say
And-
engage from far away?
Do you want to?
Not yet. I want to see what's happening.
Okay. So, and then he keeps things in that pile. He doesn't take anything for himself, although you had the distinct impression that he was looking for a trophy that would be his own.
A trophy? Oh boy, it's your lucky day. Did you look at my bag yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he doesn't. He looks in there, but he does not. He doesn't seem interested in anything that's in
What?
there.
What? Okay.
Your trinkets and trash are no interest
Trash.
to him.
Not trash.
All right. Okay. Do you guys do anything here?
Are there guards near me again?
There are 100 warriors nearby,
mean,
and
like,
the
close?
2 guards
Okay.
are close. Yep.
I wanna try talking to them again.
Okay.
Where are we headed? Can you guys? Yeah.
They both look respectfully at you, but they can't say anything. They don't
Okay.
say anything.
Are we getting food and water for the night?
Same blank stare, like a wall. Very
Okay,
frustrating.
Okay.
Am I still gagged?
Do you want it?
You are still gagged.
So I will hum some of my favorite Bard's tunes
Okay.
as I sit there gagged.
All right. Anybody else want to try anything?
I want to ask my guards if they want to play some dice.
They do not
Soldiers
respond
like
at
to
all.
gamble. Okay.
Anything else? Anybody want to try anything?
I want to see if I can loosen my
Mm-hmm.
bindings at all.
You want to roll for it?
Sure.
Dexterity.
13.
Yep, you're able to loosen them.
Okay.
Do you want to keep them loose just for the time being?
Yep, just gonna keep them loose for now.
All right, roll a dexterity roll for it not being seen, being stealthy. That's enough for me. 5 is what I needed, so you're good. Nobody sees it, and your bindings are loose. Anybody else want to try anything?
What happens if I walk around the camp? Do the guards
You-
stop me?
Yes, respectfully.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. All right. All right,
Not
I'm
much
done.
time has passed. This is just like your turn to do anything. Like in 15 seconds, what would you do in this moment of time? Right? He's looking through your stuff. Are we good?
Mhm.
Okay. Near the fire is a medium-sized circular tent. Green, and it's adorned with snake-like images. After the leader has looked through your stuff, he goes in there for you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Starbucks. Okay.
Is that in Switzerland?
Yeah. Did you want to look at anything else? Do you want to notice anything else that's going on? Roll
guards
for
pretty much-
perception anyway. I think you would naturally look around, even though you don't seem interested in it. Okay, Diero
that's what
for
it says.
sure. Animan for sure. Oh my gosh, Sereth also. All of you guys notice the arrangement of the camp. So, the camp clearly has a pen for the horses that is separated from the place you're in. It's on one side. Then behind the tent seems to be the place where all of the men are, or like the warrior camp. Then further away off to the opposite side of the horse's pen seems to be the main camp for women and children, because you can see a few of them watching when you get a chance to see, like when Animan or Zalkus can see through warriors' legs. You can notice that the women and children are over in a different part. And Zalkus waves, and one child waves back at you, and then her mom slaps her for waving at you. Okay. Then the leader comes out of the tent and he gives a signal, and drums begin to sound. Dum, 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 da 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 dum, dum. Then the warriors, at the sound of the drums, they drop to their knees and they begin to sway. The fire now also, one warrior throws something in it, and instead of glowing now yellow and red, it starts to turn green, and it gives off a kind of a heavy scent that permeates the area, very smoky. And now between the fire, the fumes, and also the music, there's a curious hypnotic effect. And now you must roll a save, wisdom, constitution. Your choice, whichever one is higher. Okay, so Stormcrow saves. Diero does not save. Sereth saves. Animan saves. Let's see, what did you get, Zalkus?
It's not coming up.
No, I didn't see it, or it was before all the rest. What was it?
23.
Then you save also. But Diero has kind of fallen into a daze, a stupor. So that's where you are, Diero. The rest are still have their wits about them. But Diero begins to sway with the rest of the group too, like he is affected by this. So
Kind of waiting for Conan to show up.
the drums slowly get stronger and stronger, and then bursting from the tent, the tent is some kind of humanoid shape. His clothing is a curious blend of green leather and shed snakeskin. The skins attached to the leather vary in size, from smaller skins on the arms and legs to medium-sized skins around his belt, and an unbelievable size shed skin that serves as a cloak on his back. His elaborate hood has been constructed out of bone and dyed leather to look like the hood of a cobra or other hooded snake. And you can now see, with his elaborate headpiece, within that elaborate headpiece is a kind of wizened old barbarian. He's not necessarily tall or strong, but his muscles are knotted and well toned, and he's quite agile. And when he pops out, he begins to dance around the fire, and he has these two talisman symbols that have like rattles, like from a rattlesnake on the bottom. And so the sound is this constant sort of shaking, warning, rattling sound as he goes out to do his dance,
Have I
holding
seen
the
anything
warriors.
like that before? Have I seen
This-
anything on him that I would recognize? Maybe some kind of religion?
You immediately get the sense, without having to roll, that this is absolutely a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
And that's consistent with the lore that you've heard from barbarians, that they do not abide by magic except for in the case of a cleric's powers.
Do I have an idea of what deity they follow?
No, you don't exactly. You're confused, actually, because you can't really you don't really put it together with a snake god per se, so you're not quite sure exactly what's going on. But that's all right. you still find it curious because that's in your nature, right? Any new
Mhm.
experience is something that that just adds to your overall intelligence. So the entire event culminates in an epic finish that would, on normal occasions, want to make Diero stand up and clap for its performance, and also Zalkus too, who thinks it's kind of an incredible event. And all of the warriors yell a final large "Yo!" And the cleric throws something onto the fire which makes it explode, and all of the warriors fall limp to the ground in a kind of ecstatic loss of control. The snake cleric moves to stand before Stormcrow and says in a powerful voice that everyone can hear, "You have been chosen." And all of the warriors chant, "All hail the great Naga!" The cleric yells to the entire assembly, "Is there a witness to his worth?" And he points right at Stormcrow. Then the leader of the warrior band, with his many snake-like images on his body, sort of rippling in the green, weird firelight, and also with that weird haze around, he comes forward and he says he felled 10 or more orc devils without the aid of magic. And when he says the word magic, he spits on the ground afterward, as if it was even deplorable to say it. Then the cleric says, "Can this be true?" Then, at that, several warriors in the group of around 100 stand and start affirming with large whoops what the original leader says, bearing witness to Stormcrow's prowess in the battle that they watched. At this, the cleric now begins to chant in a familiar way to Stormcrow and a familiar way to Diero. And in a matter of minutes, Stormcrow's wounds are healed completely. So you better change your hit point total. And then he feels totally refreshed, as if he's had an entire night's rest.
Nice.
While this is happening, a small circle near the fire is being prepared. The circle is delineated or ringed by a sort of a snakeskin rope that has bell-like trinkets on it all around the outside. And then Stormcrow is moved into the circle. Stormcrow drags his feet a little bit and kicks the little trinkets, and they go ding, 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 ding. So this starts to look familiar to Stormcrow, like this might be some kind of test or game or something. The circle's in place. There's sort of a ritualistic alarm if you trip the outside of it. This starts to become familiar, and you gain in confidence that you might know what's going to happen next.
Want a wrestle?
The Stormcrows moved into the circle, and then the cleric announces to everybody, and he looks directly at you. "Prove your worth to the great Naga!" And then all of the warriors say, "All hail the great Naga!" They'll say. Okay, then the barbarian leader with all of those tattoos moves into the circle, and he locks arms with you. You immediately know that this is some kind of wrestling match, some kind of strength-proving exercise. You also know it's going to be a test of your upper body strength alone, from the way that your opponent locks his feet in place and doesn't move them. So, as you look into those eyes of your opponent, you see Stormcrow only respect and brotherliness that's offered there. but also you see a calm visage. This is a deadly opponent, accomplished warrior, wily wrestler who may have a few tricks up his sleeve. He has no desire to hurt you, and you really have no desire to hurt this man, as you feel a wash of nostalgia for the tribe that you once belonged to. This all feels very familiar to you.
Oh.
The cleric says, "Begin!" Roll. Strength.
Just okay. 7.
12. Did you want to try your special move?
The norm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a D6, right?
Yep.
Here we go. I'm gonna try the norm on him. A full +6.
Ooh.
Puts me at 13.
Nice. So you gain the advantage and you move him, and he's surprised. This move that you do takes him. He thinks he has you in the first part of this. And so you're able to move him a bit, and his eyes widen. Roll again.
15.
Shocked, I guess, by the first move, his second move is weak as you dominate this instance now, and you have him as a disadvantage. Now roll with advantage. Roll twice against his.
Well, good thing I have advantage. Oh, 7.
He reestablishes the equilibrium between the two fighters, and you're still locked in the struggle. Roll again.
20.
Ooh. Against a 14, and you establish dominance now, and you have him at disadvantage. Roll again.
18.
Ooh. In the last moment, Stormcrow's muscles bulge in a burst of energy and prolific wrestling prowess, drawing on all of his experiences from all of those events that he'd participated in, and knowing that this was going to be the moment that might save all of his friends.
Mm-hmm.
He has a burst of energy that takes the leader completely by surprise, but there's also a knowing smile, an appreciative smile on his face as he's thrown from the ring. At this, the cleric says, "The great Naga has chosen!" And the crowd chants, "All hail the great Naga!" The cleric walks up to you, Stormcrow, and says, "You and your friends have trespassed on the land of the Naga tribe. The punishment is death!" At that, all of the warriors cheer and chant, stomp on the ground, all the drums go. Then he waits for the crowd to settle down. "By the great Naga's will, this punishment can be commuted. A worthy one has been chosen to join our ranks. The warrior's name was..." And he looks over at you.
Stormcrow.
Everybody's like, chants after Stormcrow. And he says, "You are no longer Stormcrow. Now he shall be called Cephris." And the warriors all chant, "All hail the great Naga," and then follow it with a hiss. And they fold their arms like this, and they do a bow to their new member. The cleric gives a signal to a few of his warriors, who now pick up Zulkus, Sereth, and Krillik from the rest of the group. And he puts those 3 down in front of Stormcrow. And he forces them to their knees. The cleric says, "There's one final task to membership. prove your loyalty to the great Naga, you must sacrifice these subhuman creatures when the sun is at its highest peak and the blood of the great Naga can wash clean the transgression of these intruders. So saith the great Naga. And he does a little jig and he plays his snake and there's drumming, and he does his little dance and he goes back into his tent. The warriors are all chanting, Great Naga, Great Naga, Great Naga, Great Naga, Great Naga. Yeah, until he goes into his tent. And then there's the final little roll of the drum. The group is separated now. The 3 sacrificial subhumans are all put in that same spot and bound to a pole. The other group of you, the 6 thug mercenaries that are left alive, the 4 knights, and the group of you that are left are all strapped to poles too on the ground away from the fire.
Me too?
You are taken to a small bench which is in front of a crude altar of a snake and now is partly adorned with pieces of the golem that was destroyed in the last fight. And there's a bench there and you're sat down on the bench and the 2 guards are on both sides of you. Your hands, by the way, are retied.
Seems like I've been here before, but I think last time I didn't have any clothes.
All right. Well, this is actually a pretty good moment in the story to do our trivia. Is everybody ready for the trivia? It's music this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Trivia.
It's time for this episode's trivia question.
Okay. Who was the first woman ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Who was the first woman ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? We will just give our audience a chance to take a look, think about it, put in their answers. Who's got a response? Even a wild guess. First woman in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What do you say? Nothing? Nobody. There's no answers. Oh, there! Kitty Snacks with the first answer. And by the way, Kitty Snacks, well done. That is the correct answer. You totally have it. Here it is.
Nice.
I love that picture of her too. So cool. The light slightly behind, creating that nimbus there. Yeah, well done, Kitty Snacks. You got it totally right. Proud of you. Okay. Well, it was a good guess if you were totally guessing. Well done. Okay, friends. What are you going to do?
Okay, so I'm sitting in front of this altar. My hands are tied. My first instinct is to see if I can pocket one of these pieces of the golem. Priorities.
No, you would not be permitted to touch the altar. No.
What time of day is it right now, or night? Where are we at? Nighttime?
Yeah, it has gone from dusk when you first arrived now into the nighttime.
If I try to get up and walk, do they stop me?
Yes. You are basically tasked with sitting in this position of respect for the Naga altar. Oh, and by the way, everybody, Krillic could not make it tonight. He had some work stuff that he had to do. So here I've had this awkward picture up for Krillic.
It's Diero.
this
He's the
entire
awkward one.
time. And that's really Diero's picture
Thanks,
from when he
thanks.
was in high school. So sorry about that, Diero. I didn't mean to do that.
It's all good.
Krillic was not able to join us this week, so he'll be on next time. And we hope he gets a chance to see it. Hope your training went well. Okay, so sorry, that was back to the story now. Stormcrow trying to take parts of the Iron Golem, and no.
Okay, am I close enough, like within earshot of any of my friends?
Well, yeah, if you were to talk out loud, they would hear you, but it's not like the two guards wouldn't notice.
Are they expecting me to do anything at the altar?
I don't know. Are you asking
Um,
me? I'm the dungeon master. You just can't.
Let's see. What? Okay, I'm gonna wait just a minute.
Okay. Is anybody else going to do anything? Try anything?
Where am I
Figure
right
out a
now?
way.
I think I missed something. Am
You
I tied up?
you are attached to a pole along with a couple other people from your group, and that may include one of the 6 thugs that are left. Yep, 6, and one of the 4 knights also are in the group.
Okay. And I'm still like bound and gagged and stuff.
You're not. Animan, you've been thinking for a minute, Animan, that they took all the subclass people from your group, and you think to yourself, well, that's me too. But it's also possible that they confused you for a child.
My thick dwarven beard.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know the barbarians very well.
And they're not so smart, but they could easily
Yeah.
identify a bird-like humanoid and a dark-skinned elf and also a gnome. So that wasn't trouble for them. You kind of fooled them. They weren't quite sure what to do with you.
Can I try to see if I can wiggle loose again?
Yep. You
Am I
can
still
because
gagged?
you're still gagged. You never Animan, they never checked your bonds. So
Oh, so I'm
you
like tied
were
up,
sneaky, so
the
you're
rest of
still
them.
able to loose them if you want to.
Okay. Where am I in proximity to Gero and everybody else that's tied up?
I would say roll a 1 in 3 chance. If you get let's roll a 6-sided dice. 1 and 2, you're with the arrow on the same pole. 3 or 4, he's 1 pole over. 5 or 6, he's 2 poles over. He's 2 poles over. Approximately 12 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna try to loosen the ropes for the other people that are tied up with me.
Okay, explain how you do this. Is it blind? Are you going to do it while still facing forward? Your hands
Yes.
are behind you, so you're going to try
Try
it
to-
blind. Okay, so then it's got to be at a disadvantage then. If you reach a 10 or better at disadvantage, I'll give it to you. You loosen somebody else's bindings.
Dexterity again.
Yep.
Well.
You're at disadvantage 8
Yep.
or 7 both.
Okay.
It's a clever attempt though. I just wanted to point out right there that that could have been a place to use an inspiration dice if you have one, if you felt like it was worthy to use one.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Seraph, you have night vision. So does Zalkus. Does anybody else have infravision or dark vision?
Does my belt? I have dark vision to a range of 60 feet.
Okay. And that's also Seraph and Zalkus. Will you guys all roll for perception? Animan notices it, but you're the only one. Animan, you notice there's something going on near the horse pen. There used to be 3 heat signatures near the horse pen, and the horse pen gives off a lot of heat signatures. You can tell where the horses are. But now there's only 2. It is funny. Your cat is behind you, and there's just a funny look of it on your on the top of your head was pretty funny. Okay, sorry, that was totally out of the character in the scene. But I was looking at you for a response, and then I saw your cat bathing himself back there, or bathing herself. Is it her or him?
Him.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that information.
About the cat, it's a him.
Roll for perception. A few minutes pass by with no action. You guys, there's like 12 hours before the 3 of you are sacrificed.
It's
So
gonna be a long episode.
it's going to be a long episode. Yeah. Animan,
Can I use this to take a short rest?
Animan, actually, no. You're in an awkward position. The only thing that they did was to make sure you guys didn't bleed out, but they've done nothing else to help you. And you don't have access to your hands. You can't pray, Diero, because you're gagged too. So nope. So Animan, did you the other 2 roll too?
Oh no,
Did you-
was I supposed to roll? Because
Yep, all of you with infravision or dark vision. Salkus sees it now too. Sarah?
Oh,
I can roll again.
Yep. This is like the next turn.
Okay.
Stuff is happening in these minutes where you guys aren't doing anything. You don't see it yet, but Zalkus and Animan notice now there are no heat signatures near the horse pen.
uh-oh.
You knew those heat signatures were guards. You knew it, but now there is nothing.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Is anyone even trying to... Salkus. Okay. Salkus would like to say something, but nobody is close by. That's when a warning look comes in, Zalkus, from one of the guards. Does not want you to make those sounds anymore. All right, Animan and Sareth and Zalkus. Now we need to... actually, everybody rolls this time. Roll for perception. Animan sees it, Diero sees it, Sareth sees it. Zalkus does not. The group of you that can see it, from the edge of the firelight, close enough in proximity to notice, using regular light, not infravision, you see a pair of lavender eyes. Sareth, you see hands, drow hands, and they start to make this signature drow silent language that all drow warriors are trained with when they were little. Because in the Underdark, noises will sometimes give away position, so all drow warriors are trained in quiet communication across vast distances. So the characteristic symbols start showing up to you, and you immediately know there is another drow warrior or somebody that knows the drow warrior code with hand signals, and starts to explain to you that a breakout is going to occur. They ask you to use your drow globe of darkness, and he asks precisely to put it over the guards that are in Stormcrow's spot. Okay? Clear? And then there's also a requirement for you to drop fairy fire on on a group as that are close together to get as many as you can. And the fairy fire spell will outline them in flames. And you also know that this can sometimes freak out, especially non-magic folks. These are innate abilities. You do not have to speak anything. You do not have to have spells. These are just things that come immediately to you, Sarah. So you're not limited in this particular instance. He also, the other drow language who's talking to you, gives you a cue on which to do it. Okay, so you're supposed to look for a sign. What happens next? Are you going to do anything, Sereth? Are you going to share the information anywhere? Or you're just going to wait?
So who's right next to me?
It's a good question. So roll to see if you're on. No, you're right next to Zalkus and also Krylik.
And those would be like, if I were to whisper, they would hear me, but nobody else would.
I think so.
Yeah, I'll try to whisper without being heard and let them know that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching for a signal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stormcrow, Animan, Diero. Animan, did you see it already? Did you see the lavender eyes? Animan, you saw
think
the
I did,
lavender
yeah.
eyes? Stormcrow, did you?
No, I'm kind of dozing off at the altar here.
Okay, so Stormcrow is unaware.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody, Animan and Diero, do you remember from the story the lavender eyes, the significance of them?
No, it's been too long.
Zulkus knows. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Ooh, I remember.
okay, so within the next 30 minutes or so, some of you notice around the camp things begin to change. There aren't as many active warriors and such that are around. And then suddenly, without warning, a huge panther comes out of the darkness and drops one of the warriors that's close to Zalkus and Animan and Krylik. Immediately after, there is this impenetrable ball of darkness that covers right where the fire is glowing, and dark erupts around the camp. Right after that, Sereth fires off his darkness right around the guards of Stormcrow. So Stormcrow, you're immediately covered in darkness. You've been in this kind of darkness before, and so please roll for intelligence.
I just start swinging. 7.
Intelligence.
Hey,
Oh, no.
you pass. You know that this is your moment to move. You don't start swinging. Instead, you know you're supposed to get out of the darkness. When you emerge,
Can I pee on the altar first?
I'll
leave. Fine, I'll leave.
Okay, well, I was going to try and establish a random thing that might happen. And
Okay, well
if
now
you
I have
pee
to
on the
commit.
altar.
I've been here for a while. I'm mad at them.
Okay, wait for it. That'll be your next turn,
Okay.
right? Okay, so
Okay.
then in this turn now, the panther takes out another guard that's close by to Diero and Zalkus, and a drow warrior appears out of nowhere, it seems, with his Puafwi cloak, making him look like he was absolutely invisible. He frees Zalkus, Krylik, and Sereth right there in that moment. The three of you are free.
Thanks, Dritz.
What's next?
I look at Dritz and say, are we running? Are we fighting? Because I don't got much
Horses.
left.
Horses, he says. Horses.
Horses. Go to the horses. Let's go to the horses, guys.
Driss then whips out his two scimitar blades, and if any of you know the legends of Driss, he has two super magical weapons. One of them is named Twinkle, and then one of them is named... What was the other one named, brother? Ice?
Mm-mm. I
Frost
don't remember.
something? Anyway, he whips them out, and you've never seen a more masterful fighter than this. He starts taking down the barbarians. Like, you, Stormcrow, you're good. And Animan, you have weapons prowess, but you've never seen anything like this before. This guy is a nightmare. And then also surrounding him is this panther. And as you've seen the panther, it's not a regular panther. This panther is like has this glow and aura about him, like he's spectral, not on the prime material plane at all. And he is taking out. There is utter chaos. Some barbarians are in flames, purplish flames, and are screaming and running around the camp. There are these weird dark spots. Eventually, in all of this chaos now, all of the prisoners are set free in this, and then you guys are able to get free. What are you going to do?
Run to the horses.
Have I peed on the altar yet?
Okay, in the middle of this, Stormcrow decides to whip down his jerkin
Pants.
and take a whiz on the altar. Please roll a 20-sided dice to see if you have shy problems.
Does it
Well,
hurt? Does it hurt or not?
He's in darkness, is he not?
Yeah, I'm in darkness. Nobody can see
There's
me.
no shy problems.
I'm
No
just
one knows he's
saying
doing
I
it.
got a 5.
it's psychological, man. And darkness or whatever, but if you know you're in front of somebody, sometimes you have performance issues. So, nope, you totally are able to pee.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
and
But
when
it's
you
darkness, so how
do,
does he know he hits the altar?
it smokes.
He can hear it clink off the metal
Alright,
of the
alright.
Yeah,
dark.
peed on the golem.
And also, it smokes, and there are red marks that appear wherever his
On the
urine
altar, I
hits the
hope, right?
altar. Yes,
Okay.
and it's hissing. Something is
Wow.
definitely wrong with this whole situation.
I hope it's
So-
at the altar, not with my pee.
Yes, altar. Exactly. Now, what are you going to do, Stormcrow?
I'll get my pants back on and get out of the
Okay,
darkness.
good. All right. Is there anything else you're going to do before you get on the horses?
Take our stuff.
I want to take a piece of the golem.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't.
Oh, okay.
When you reach down, you are
It's
thrown
covered
from
in
it.
pee.
Nope. Roll 20-sided dice.
Oh.
Ooh, me?
Yes.
All right. Uh-oh. That's probably not good.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. You're thrown about 20 yards and stunned. You're prone on the ground.
Whoop.
The rest of you going to get your stuff?
It is. We see where the
Yeah.
piles are, right?
You saw
Yeah.
everything. It was right in front of
Yep,
you. You watched him
absolutely
paw
getting
through
my
your
stuff.
stuff.
Yes,
I would-
absolutely getting my stuff, and I might send a little firebolt into the green tent for good measure.
I would like to
Um,
grab stuff and cast Lesser Restoration on Stormcrow so he can get up.
Okay, it takes a while, but you're still able to do it. Drist is fighting off the barbarians that get close to you. So you get to the horses and you skedaddle out of here. There's going to be a random roll to see if anything was left behind, because it's dark, and so I don't know whether you get all of your possessions, and so we'll establish that later when you have time to look. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're on the horses. Drist is behind you. Stormcrow is coming. Everybody gets on the horses, and you begin to ride. Weird thing happens. Roll for perception. Animan hears it. Diero absolutely understands what's happening. Stormcrow does too. From the knowledge of his tribe, the warriors do not pursue. Instead, what you hear is you begin to hear a steady chant begin, and a bright light, green, start to appear. Okay. So you're charging away. Drist is with you, and then also his panther is with also. For those of you that don't know this, Drist is a drow. Drist was a part of the family Duirdrin from the Underdark in the city of Metzoberzan.
in
His
Switzerland.
family is the 8th family in Metzoberzan in terms of hierarchy, and he was born the 3rd child in the family. When he was born, he was meant to be sacrificed that very day to Loth, but instead, his older brother, the second of 3, killed his first brother, the oldest brother, on the very same day, and he became the second child and then survived. As he grew up, he became totally disinterested in the evil city, all of its ways, its murder, its deceit, and its utter ruination, and the way that the families worked. They all vied for power, and the chaos of it all was stirred up by the great spider god Loth. And so, out of disfavor, he left the city in a moment when he could, and made a name for himself by surviving the Underdark, and then he has a whole series of adventures that happen after that. But he's legendary character, and he's with you right now as you escape. Okay, so
Icing Death is his other.
Icing
superpower.
Death. That's right. Thank you. Twinkle and Icing Death. If you're interested in the character Drizzt, if this sounds interesting to you, there's a whole series of books by R.A. Salvatore that you can read.
Oh, a bunch of them.
Okay, so you're running. There are no warriors chasing you. There are no horses. How fast are you going? Are you like galloping away? Fast as you can?
Fast. Yep.
Okay, it's not long, like an hour or so, and you feel like things are over, done, like you've gotten away, but Drizzt says keep running. Something evil is at hand.
Coming. Mm-hmm.
And then you notice behind you there is a light that is pursuing you, and it is catching you. What are you going to do?
Well, we've already run these horses pretty crazy.
Does Drizzt, do you know what this light is? Can you tell us anything about it?
It's evil, and it's coming. I suggest we get in a defensive position.
Yep.
Okay.
Because otherwise we'll kill the horses.
Okay, Stormcrow, we're going to need this may take a little while, but we're going to need a representation of all of our friends. There are 4 knights, and there are 6 thugs, as well as our camp, Drizzt, and also a panther.
Panther. Okay. 4 knights. How many thugs?
6.
6. Let me grab.
And a can of Spam.
These guys.
Wow.
4 thugs. No, 4 knights.
I'll just say this while we're getting those guys ready. Since it's summertime and all of us have weird schedules, we've not been able to establish a regular playing time during the summer. So thanks for joining us at sort of the spur of the moment. It's very kind of you to be a part of our game tonight. So thanks for joining us on a weird day, Thursday. All right. So then you have time to talk positioning. Please decide how you're going to put yourselves together.
Are we talking yet?
No, nobody has said anything.
Okay, great. Are we?
So-
So is this coming from one direction, or are we going to be surrounded?
Behind you, it's a single light coming your way, and it's moving in a weird way. Not directly at you, but a strange kind of back and forth, back and forth.
I think that
Lightning
we should have
quick.
the guild in the center with Drizzt there. I'm assuming he has like well, he's got his scimitars and the panther, and then have our friends kind of flanking so that we can potentially surround this whatever it is.
Set it up. Set it up
Yep,
like you
sounds
think.
like a plan.
I'm gonna Leroy Jenkins it.
Sareth, you have your bow, right? Hopefully.
Dritz and I can be up there. Let's put
Sarah's
the
bow
panther.
has not been recharged. His charge is done.
It's just a
A
bow.
storm
then.
bow. Just regular
So-
bow.
Well, the arrows are electric arrows still versus regular arrows.
Oh.
The panther over with the knights to try to even the numbers there. Something like oh, hold on. let me-
Zalkus, what spells do you have left? What levels?
I have first and second. I have some cantrips. Unlocked.
Tiero?
I have 1, 4, 1, 3, and a lot of ones.
Okay. All right, so if you don't remember, this group had a major battle against 150 orcs, and now essentially without rest, they're about to take on something else. Okay,
No, I had rest.
I don't know. I think it's something like
Stormcrow
this.
is the only one. How many hit points do you have, Diero?
27.
Animan?
95 or 59.
28.
Sareth?
18.
Stormcrow has full health. Zalkus?
33,
Okay.
and Krillic shows what 31.
Okay. Diero, I need you to roll. You have to get over a 10 out of 100 to have picked up the bag of holding. Less than 10, you did not get it with your gear. So if you roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 100, that bag of holding is still at the camp.
Okay. Perfect. 18.
You rolled a 20 and I needed you to roll 100.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
50.
Awesome. The bag of holding is there. Did you have any healing potions left?
Yeah. There's 4 of them in the bag of holding. Oh, no, 3 of them, sorry.
Okay.
Be a good time to get those out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw 2 of them to Sereth and 1 to Zalkus.
You'll have to remind them about the healing potion power. What is it?
I don't remember. Hold on.
Somebody look it up.
Yep.
I'm gonna give mine to Krillic.
It's a 2d4 plus 2.
So figure that out and add your health for those potions. And then please take them out of the bag, your inventory.
Got it.
2 die for Seraph. 2 of them. Roll another one. Plus
Yeah,
4.
I did. I got a 3 and a 1.
Okay.
Plus 4. So, or plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yep.
Okay, so 6.
Stormcrow, we're gonna need a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a bigger one?
I could take the wings off the dragon.
No, it's not that big.
I have a smaller dragon. Yeah, I don't know if I do. I can't think of anything.
That's alright. Just, I know that you like that challenge, and if I didn't ask you for a larger one, you'd be disappointed in me. That's
Actually,
fine.
hold on.
Okay. Doodaloo 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 doo doo doodaloo 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 doo doo.
I'm gonna go ahead and I've got a
Hey, isn't that give it up for
Potion too that I'm gonna
Sarah's
use.
background there on his picture? That's
I know,
awesome.
right?
Okay.
Okay, how's that guy? Is he
Oh,
coming?
great. Awesome. That's about the right size, I think, too. Here is what appears. This. And it's not in this regular color. Instead, it looks like it's from a different plane. A spiritual plane instead of a regular one. And Stormcrow, when you look at the face, you recognize it. It has the face
guy
of
you
the
wrestled?
leader. Okay. Time to establish now initiative, please. I'm going to play Dritz, so don't worry about him. I saw Stormcrow with 17. Animan I see with a 9. I see Deer with an 8.
I can't seem to roll acrylic for some reason. Maybe
I'll
I can't have them
I'll
up.
do acrylic.
Okay.
Acrylic has a 7. Zalkus?
11.
Sereth has 21 and 11. Okay. Here is the initiative for the Naga. And we start. Okay, the Naga is first. And I need to... Okay, so if I roll a 1 or 2 out of 6, the north group, as I'm looking at the camera, is his target. If I roll... Actually, where are you, Stormcrow?
Center.
That's his target. You're the one who peed on the altar.
Bring it.
So,
Snaky boy.
so his first attack is right with you, and he fires off a lightning bolt. And the lightning bolt is going to hit everybody in a line there. Give me a second.
How broad of a white line?
Yep, I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
The lightning bolt is 5 feet wide.
Okay. From where he is?
It's right at you. And so
And it goes behind me too.
goes right through you. Yep.
Probably Sereth and Diro as well.
Yep. And who's there also on the other side? 5 feet from the center of you. Who's north of you?
Oh,
Who
I
is that?
see. That's Zalkus.
Okay. So you guys have to roll saving throw.
What kind of saving throw?
Dexterity?
Yep, it's dexterity.
Not coming up in again. Odd. 13.
Okay. Sereth, Diero saves. Sereth doesn't save. Zelka saves. Stormcrow does not save. So Sereth and Stormcrow take the entire damage, and the other two take only half. Okay, so give me a second. Yep. The damage is 30, so 15 for half and 30 total. Out from the Spirit Naga on the first turn comes a curling bolt of electricity that goes right through Stormcrow and then arcs
That was a shock.
into the group behind. Krilik is safe and away, and I think Animan's on the other side, right? Safe and away. Plus you
I
have
took
Uncanny
15, is what you
Dodge.
said?
Yep,
I took 30.
you did.
Well, I was at 24. So,
You were unconscious and on the ground.
hooray.
At our next turn, you have to roll to see whether you have a plus toward being saved or whether you have a minus. Somebody can also, in that time, go over and bind your wounds so you're stabilized. Okay. That was his turn. Then it's Sereth, who's unconscious, and then Stormcrow.
Do I have to roll any sort of like save, death save?
Nope, not yet. Next turn.
Leroy Jenkins. Do I have Eos with me? Did I get him back? Her?
Roll 100.
Maybe wait, hold on. Before I charge in there, let me do this roll first.
1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you didn't pick it up.
76.
You're good. It's with you.
Alright, here we go. I'm going
Okay.
for him.
Yep.
Eos engage.
Mm-hmm.
25.
That's a hit for sure.
Does radiant damage. Does that mean anything for him?
Does 1 damage, and he disappears.
Oh. I look around confused.
Everybody else is confused too.
Illusion?
Does anybody else
Uh,
want to do? It would be Zelkis's turn. Do you want to try something, Zelkis, on your turn?
Can I? Is there anything that would help me understand if I think this is an illusion? Insight, maybe, or? That
Yeah, do you
looked
wanna
like an
roll?
illusion to me?
Maybe roll Arcane
Okay.
or Intelligence.
Yep. Yep. 14 on arcane.
With all of your knowledge, this does not seem like an illusion to you.
So it just disappeared. Like blinked out.
Roll Intelligence.
19.
You're pretty sure it has something to do with its ability to travel across planes.
Planar travel. Okay.
That's your turn, Animan.
Go back over and see if I can help Sereth out.
Well, I'm glad somebody
Slap
thought
him.
of that. Sereth is stabilized. You didn't have to roll against death. Diero?
I'm gonna heal myself.
Okay.
For 25.
Can I call out what I think that it's traveling extraplanar could come up anywhere?
You use your
And
turn to
guard.
discern it. It's only a few
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
Diero, are you finished?
Yep.
Krillic? I'm going to roll for this. Let's see.
He's got
Yep.
37 now, by the way, because he had that potion.
Krillic says, "Everybody spread out!" It's round 2, and the Spirit Naga appears below. If we're talking about north and south on the map as I can see it, it's below the group. It's the Thug group below, not in Drit's group. Behind them, and he fires off a bolt that will hit them and go to the other group. So straight through that group and up into the other group for the attack. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of the thugs. 3, 4, 5, 6. These are their saves. 4 of them do not save. And they are hit by 30 points of damage. And the others are there Nope. All of them are still standing, but 4 of them have 2 hit points left. and the other group has 17. Then the bolt. The bolt goes up and hits 2 of the knights, and Drist and the Panther are not there. They've moved out of a group. They took their turn to spread out. So 2 more of them, 2 of the knights have to save. One of them does, and the other one does not. And the knights are wounded. Both of them. Okay. Next, Sereth is unconscious but stable. Stormcrow?
Do I have my hand axes on me?
Roll.
100?
Yeah, 10 or less, and you didn't bring them with.
Okay, I got them.
Yep.
I'm doubtful that if I run up there and swing again, I think I'm just chasing a ghost here. But I'm gonna try throwing a hand axe, just one, at him.
Okay.
16 to hit.
Yep.
6 damage.
Takes 1 damage, and he disappears.
Ah.
Zalkus?
I'm gonna run backwards 25 feet. I'm gonna get back away from, to start to spread out, like Krillic was saying.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, no, because he keeps disappearing. Yeah, I guess, no, I'm gonna save that. Okay.
Animan.
I'm going to run down south as far as I can. I should have been starting next to Sereth because I had revived him.
Oh yeah, you were there. Yep.
So, and then I'm going to just stay there.
Diero?
I'm gonna cast Preserve Life on Sereth, so he can regain up to 35 hit points, but no more than half of your health.
Okay.
And then I am gonna move northwest.
35
that way.
hit points take you to half, Sereth? What's your total?
67.
Okay, so full 35. You were under by 6, by 2. What were you under by? You were under hit points. You'd gone past 0. You were in negative hit points.
Oh shoot! I just went down to 0.
Okay, so I
didn't
think you were
realize
under by
it got
2.
negative.
So
Okay.
then it should be, your total amount should be 33 hit points
Okay.
then. Handy to have a cleric around.
Heck yeah!
And I'm done.
Thank you, thank you.
And Krillic spreads out.
You probably take to the air.
Yes, air. Good idea. Can we put him on a pedestal or something that'll signify that he's flying?
Even a dice or something. There you go. That's awesome.
Okay, but I don't think he
I'm
stays there
prepared.
either. I think he spreads out. He gets over in the space
Yep.
that's been left on the other side of you.
Like here?
No, other way.
Ah! Which way? Like over
Towards
here?
you. Yep. On the other side of you.
Okay.
There. Yep, he's over
Okay.
there. The groups now, the knights and the thugs, they spread out too. Spread them out in a way that makes sense to you. Okay, awesome. Next round. Alright, boy, how do I randomize who he goes after now? Okay. If I roll a 1 or 2, it's the knight group. A 3 or 4, it's the thug group. 5 or 6, it's the hero group, including Dritz. It's a 1, it's the knight group he goes after. So he's gonna appear right in the middle of the knight group. And now there are 4 knights around him. He is gonna try and hit. Let's see. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 from the one that's underneath. It's the one directly underneath him. And he does a melee weapon attack. And even with a +7, he does not hit. Then it's Sereth. You're up. Your turn.
All right. I'd like to shoot at him.
Yep. Roll. It's a hit.
Okay. Now you
Your
said I have charged
electricity
up arrows?
damage. Your electricity damage does 1, and the creature disappears.
Is Drizzt around
Stormcrow.
here?
I want to shout to Zalkus. Zalkus, do you have any ideas on how we can hold him here?
No! No idea.
Well, that was a wasted turn. I will take the rest of my turn to scratch my head.
Okay. Salkus.
I'm gonna disappear.
Invisible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there some way to mark that? Because we're coming to the end of our time. It'll be nice to remember that you're invisible.
Who is? Zalkus?
Yeah.
Yes, I just blinked out.
And we'll put you on some.
I can
put
do
you on
that
some
too.
water.
Animan.
I drink another healing potion.
You said something about a potion, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink another healing potion.
Okay. Got it.
That's it. Yep.
You good? Diero?
I'm gonna pray to my deity for guidance.
Please roll
Oh,
religion.
okay.
Ooh. You get a call you get a answer. It is clear to you. An image burns into your mind. Dritz holding the panther.
Okay, so I yell to Dritz this information. Tell him to hold the panther.
And that's where we're going to have to leave it. Next time you'll join us, maybe they'll figure out the riddle of the Naga spirit that is hounding them now and threatening their very existence. Will they figure out how they keep it on the prime material plane so they can finally finish this? And this saga, episode 4, continues the next
Naga
time.
Saga.
The Naga Saga. In episode 5. We hope you can join us for that too. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. That's all we have time for tonight. If you liked what you saw, remember to follow GMAAN9 and turn on notifications. Special thanks to our regular fans who help make this so fun to stream. Be sure to tune in next time and bring along a friend. From all of us members of It Hurts When I PvP
Good night.